All right, so today we're going to make a carryall out of 2x8s and 2x10s treated lumber on this frame. I had a guy weld this up to carry my drag harrow, because before you just attach it to the back of the tractor, and I had to take it off every time to turn around and reattach it because my food plots are not wide enough for the tractor to turn around. So now I can lift it, back up the tractor to go the other way. So first I have to, or eventually I'm going to cut these links of chain off because he did it permanent. And then I'll put those quick connect threaded links on. And actually I have to drop it a little bit because this just isn't enough give for when you drop it to the ground. There's not enough length of chain right now, because sometimes you hit the back part on the ground. You have to adjust it just perfect. So I'm going to lengthen these, and then I can take this off, drive up to my carryall like a pair of forks, lift it up, and then just put a couple bolts there and there with wing nuts to attach it. And then I'm gonna have like a little shelf on top so I can put my gas and chainsaw. And then I might make a little seat right here so somebody can ride along. And I think I might make a tailgate to take off and on. But I don't have anything drawn up. I'm just going to kind of start doing it. Yeah. So right now we're going to do this on my little pad that we had put down, which will eventually become a barn for both our tractors. We have another tractor coming, a Kubota. Should come anytime. But right now we have the 8N, and for the last year that's worked pretty well. We got a couple food plots in with it and stuff, and we'll go over the food plots, how I'm doing those, and making this barn too. We actually have the wood cut over there. Some of it I'm gonna need a lot more, but those are the tamarack trees that we cut down and strip the bark and everything. But I think I'm gonna need at least double that. So anyway, we'll get started on this carryall.
To wash away New Orleans. Man came down from Chicago, he gonna set that levee right. He says it needs to be at least 3 feet higher, it won't make it through the night. But the old man down in the corner, he said, don't you listen to that boy. The water be down by the morning, and he'll be back to Illinois. I was born in the rain on a Poncha train, underneath the Louisiana moon. I don't mind the strain of a hurricane. The devil's daughter, she's hard, she's cold, and she's mean. Nobody taught her it takes a lot of water to wash away New Orleans.
All right, deck boards are cut for the bottom. I tried to use the best boards without all the knots, because this one's going to be getting the most abuse. And the dogs don't like their paws wiped. All right, now I have the side boards on. I dropped it 3.5 inches below the wood so I can put a on the back. Okay, now we got the back started. I have some supports in the back. The middle one ties into the bottom 2x4, which hopefully will add some rigidity to that. And then I cut out for this hook. If you guys are wondering what that is, when I take off the drag harrow and the carryall, then I can drive this frame right up to a log, drop it down, choke the log, hook my chain on there, and then lift the 3-point and skid logs out. So I had that guy weld that onto, so it's kind of a 3-in-1 deal. Right now it's 5 feet wide on the inside and 2 feet, it'll be 2 feet high. Now I have to make a little seat in the middle and then 2 little storage containers or whatever on the top for the chainsaw and chains and whatever else. So it's coming along. Hopefully I didn't make it too tight. All right, now the next step is the shelf on the top. Put some support brackets there. So now I'll do 3/4 inch plywood over, another 2x10 up, 3/4 inch plywood all the way across, and then I'll leave the middle part open for somebody to sit. That's after break time. All right, now the boxes are done. I just used some 3/4 treated plywood I had laying around. So somebody can kind of sit there. And then these 2 boxes hold the gas. And oil. And then I'll make a like a scabbard for my chainsaw somehow in that one. And I could put chains in that one. Now I have to build the sides and like a little tailgate going across. So that'll be next. All right, now I'm making the sides. I traced one board by just grabbing the board, setting it alongside, and making pencil lines. Now I'm putting it on top of another 2x10 as a template, and then I'll just draw lines to match up. And if you didn't know, we're off grid here, fancy term for no power. So I'm running off a generator for all this. All right, I'm finished. I was gonna put plywood on the sides here, and I had it cut, but I was gonna angle that and stuff, but then I would have had to brace it anyway, so I decided just to put a thicker brace in, and I don't care if the triangles are there, because once you stack wood inside there, the wood won't fall out of that. And then I put a little tailgate thing on there. All right, I added a chainsaw scabbard. I forgot to do that. And what I'm going to do goes down in the bottom underneath. I'll take this piece of plywood, screw it there. That'll protect it from debris and whatnot. Alright, so the first thing I screwed up on was I should have made this longer underneath. I didn't give myself enough room to drive up underneath it and pick it up. But I'm not so sure that's a mistake, because if I did that, every time I dropped it down, it would be sitting on my carryall, and even though it's treated, eventually maybe rot out. So I'm gonna put a spin on it and say it was a good idea, and I'll just put blocks underneath and drop it on the blocks, and then drive out from underneath it. Driving out from underneath it is pretty easy. Hooking it up isn't as easy. You got to really line it up, obviously, and then when you get it in, you can lift it up. You get it in about 3/4 of the way, lift it up, and then you can just push and slide it up against the frame. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do about pinning it on. Maybe there's some big quick connect things I can get or something. Otherwise, I was just going to do a bolt and wing nuts on 4 ends. But it's pretty heavy. It's probably too heavy for this tractor, especially when it's loaded with wood, for sure. But like I say, we're getting a new Kubota here any day now, so it'll be better for that. But I'll show you how it works. So like I say, it disconnects easy. I'm not going to show you how I hook it up because it's harder and it's going to take too long. It takes a couple minutes. It's not that bad. But yeah, there you go. Then I'll just put that in the shed out of the rain. Everything's treated, so I mean, you could leave it out, but it would just get destroyed faster. And this is that framework I had that guy weld up for me. So I hang my drag harrow off of that, and then I can drive up to a log and choker it with that chain. So it's kind of a 3-in-1 deal. And I think it cost me, it was under 400 bucks, it was 3 something, to have him weld that up for me. But it works pretty good.